YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. Shalom, everybody. Get my tea out. Got a lesson today. It's going to be a good one, I believe. The Most High put it in my spirit to get it out. Been studying on it for a minute, and we're going to see about getting this thing together and doing it for the Most High and doing it uprighteously. I want to say salutations to all the YAHAWAH, the brethren, sisterin, and all those that are diligently studying and staying in the Word and trying to get things done for the Most High. I want to say salutations to all the apostles and also all the elders that are out there teaching on the highways and byways and also online and on YouTube and all of the flavors thereof. I want to give a hearty salutation and a shalom to all of them. And Barakatah, YAHAWAH Yasharala, and about the ball, because we got some stuff cooking today. We're going to talk about lesson today. It's going to be a doozy. You got to bear with me. Having a little bit of visual issue, but the Most High is working it out. He just had to chastise me not too recently, because I took my eye off of him and he made sure that that eye got spanked. So that's how that goes sometimes, but all praise to the Most High. Okay, that's some good tea right there. All right, lesson for the day is labeled Obadiah Jacob's Trouble, explaining current end time events. Obadiah Jacob's Trouble, explaining current end time events. Now, there's a lot of different renditions that seem to be coming out in reference to Jacob's trouble. What I mean by that is you got a lot of religious practitioners that come out with various different terminology and various different ways to try to explain Jacob's trouble, as though they were involved in it or as though they were part of it. Explain what I mean by that. Well, you know, the religious practitioners from a Christianity perspective try to say that the church is replaced Israel, you know, that replacement theology crap, that supersessionism crap. And then they try to come up with, you know, spiritually Israel is now no more, and now you have the church that has superseded it, and now that Jacob's trouble is falling upon those sinners and so to speak and what have you. Well, that could be further from the truth, okay, because that's not the case at all. Christianity and all of the derivatives thereof, all of those daughters of that universalism that comes from the Catholic Church environment, have nothing to do with the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures at all. I have said this over and over again in multiple times in the lessons that the Most High has given me and blessed me to do for him towards the elect of Israel, is the fact that what is it that the so-called Gentiles that are not scattered Israels, but the so-called Gentiles that are the heathen, what is it that they believed before they got a hold of our Holy Scriptures and before they got a hold of our sacred texts and all of the books thereof that they have been hiding? We know there's multiple books that they have been hiding. Clearly that has been being revealed by the Most High on a regular basis, and he's coming out with more newly revealed information as we speak, as the prophecies roll on. So prophetically, we know that the Edomites and Esau have not come up with, they have not had their own belief system. They absconded and incorporated and took our belief system and then twisted it up and then put themselves in it at some point and decided that they were part of it when they're not. Not to digress on that, but basically they have no belief, and this is very true in reference to who they are. So therefore we know that in that being the case, that they have been able to blindly bring Hebrews and Israelites and Hebrew Israelites into a system upon which they have been duped and seduced, and basically for the most part they have been subliminally seduced to the degree that they believe that they're part of a false ideology and a false idolatrous religious system, which our Most High Father YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has not given us any religion as our basis of travel through his his prophecies, his world, his perspective in terms of how we're supposed to live. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, which we fell short of, and since we didn't do what we had to do, we had to suffer the consequences. Ergo, Jacob's trouble, which is part of the final capstone that I think we're getting close to in terms of everything coming to fulfillment. Now, the thing I want to say about this part of the current event flavor, or this particular breakdown of Jacob's trouble, is it's not your run-of-the-mill Jacob's trouble breakdown that most people take you through, including some of my brethren who go through what's going to happen. I want to pull the perspective of this that I've been given by the Most High to do it this way. The two-thirds that clearly have identified themselves in many different ways by conforming to the aspects of this wicked system, trying to become wickedly equal and wickedly justified in being part of the system, which a lot of them are blind, they fall to me in the category of the two-thirds that will be judged by the Most High during the Jacob's trouble process that is going to be implemented. Okay, so now, why do I say that? Because a lot of the Hebrew Israelites that are going to be judged are going to be judged by the Most High through Jacob's trouble, and they will be Jacob that will be judged, because the Most High says in His Word, and then we're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, when the Most High talks about, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahawah. So the judgment is going to begin at the Most High's house first, which means Jake is going to see it. Jacob, who the ones that are primarily not awake, but the two-thirds, okay? And we know that Zechariah chapter, Zechariah 16:13 talks about what's actually going to happen in terms of the two-thirds that get eliminated. So who are those two-thirds? Those are the two-thirds that fall under the Jacob's trouble program. Now, I'm not saying that that some of the elect of Israel will not experience some of the aspects of Jacob's trouble as well, because that is true. We will. There'll be some. Some of us will be captured in turn, will be taken and by Esau, Edom, and many of us may be martyred. Some of us may not. Most High may decide to spare those He wants to spare, and those He wishes to have perform that particular process, He will have them performing. I don't know who. It could be me. It could be a lot of us. Could be some of us. Could be hardly none of us. We don't know. It's really the Most High's call. When He decides to punch that ticket is punched, no matter what the situation is. No one can deliver you from His hand. And that's paraphrase, but He will do what He has to do. And I just pray that if that's the case for me or anyone else that I know, that we could go out like a lion, not like a lamb, and just give us the faith. Most High YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI give us the faith and the courage to be able to deal with all of that is coming, because it is coming, and it's coming fast. Now, these individuals that call themselves black and want to relate to that particular byword and all of the bywords associated with what has been labeled upon them, they are going to experience a magnitude of Jacob's trouble that is beyond what we can imagine. And moreover, if we look at what's happened, a lot of what Jacob's trouble went down, we have experienced a lot of that already in terms of the thousands of years that we've been put through tribulation and trials as well as punishment by the Most High. We have been under Jacob's trouble for a long time. That's clearly easy to see in terms of where we are. And we're going through it even more so at this particular time. The northern kingdom, of course, not much talked about in terms of the northern kingdom, but they've been under Jacob's trouble for quite some time. And that is definitely a fact, So, the point that I want to make is the fact that we are going to go into some scripture here and talk about Jacob's trouble from a couple of different perspectives. Clearly, we know that Jeremiah chapter 50 is when we went into the captivity portion of Jacob's trouble. We also know that, the Romans, the Edomites and Idumeans, or Idumeans are the Romans and Edomites, they were the first ones to come at us as far as the kingdom is concerned in 70 AD, where we had Babylon, the Chaldeans, the Assyrians, and the Persians and the Medes. All of them have took us through the Jacob's trouble process that we went through when we went away from the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments and did the things that we have done. So therefore, we can clearly see that that is the case. Now, the Spanish Jacob's trouble for the northern kingdom that came about started in 1482. where the northern kingdom was first distributed over here in this particular area, as well as the fact that they went through a multitude of Jacob's trouble. You can look into some of the books that talk about like the dogs of conquest, and we can talk about how the conquistadors and how Cortez and Columbus, when they came over, and what they've done to our people of the northern tribes that went through Jacob's trouble as well. And that is actually a horrible situation, but that is the way it goes. You know, the Most High in 2 Baruch chapter 13, he's no respecter of persons. So you better get ready, because he's bringing it, and he's going to bring it all. So we're going to kind of start to talk about Jacob's trouble a little bit more. And the first thing I'd like to go into to make sure I'm really clear on this. Give me a second, Shalak. Give me a second. Always got a little bit of parental correction I got to do, because when I try to do my lessons, for some reason he decides he wants to become the background loud noise that I don't need. All right, so sorry about that. Let's move forward with what we're talking about. All right, I want to start. I want to start chapter 15, 2nd Ezra. Chapter 15. 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Okay, bear with me, and let's go there first. All right, behold, speak thou in the ear of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth. This is the Father speaking to Ezra through Ezra. Saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredibility of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So you can see, as you can see, the Most High, he's declaring right there that there's going to be trouble, and the trouble that there's going to be, it's going to be a situation where you don't want to be unfaithful to your faith in terms of standing tall and standing strong when things start to happen in reference to the Jacob's trouble process that's going to be underway. 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, Yahawah, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Now we know that this is absolutely the case, because this has been transpiring throughout the entire process of our captivity, and also our Jacob's trouble prophetic lineage of how we have turned away from the Most High, and how he has been judging us and punishing us for turning into becoming part of idolatry and turning to the wickedness of the heathens of the world, which we obviously sowed ourselves in. And you can see this happening right now in terms of where things are. I mean, just to snap forward, it was kind of, I don't normally watch anything that Esau Edom puts on television, including the news or anything of that nature, but you know, sometimes some things catch your eye. And I happened to see this thing about Biden and Harris becoming an entity, becoming a unification in order for some voting situation. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to link ourselves up or put ourselves into any kind of agreement with any of the people that are of this system and of this world, because we're not of this world in that way. But clearly, people who want to call themselves black and think that they can get in and get a vote type situation going where they can possibly get something from this wicked kingdom. You are looking to go out and subscribe to being part of a wicked kingdom that the Most High allowed wicked Esau to set up and then he's bringing this down and taking this down, and this system is not coming back up. It's going down, and they can see it. But you're equally trying to become equal with them in this wicked kingdom, so you can wickedly go down equally with them. Well, then fine. If that's part of the 2/3 you must be part of, then you go ahead and you subscribe and you live with Jacob's trouble to the point that you're willing to accept it. Because this is what you're asking. You're asking the Most High, can you be part of the detriment and the destruction and the chastisement and judgment that's coming on this wicked kingdom and those that are in charge of this wicked kingdom? Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So therefore you want to be wickedly with them. So then therefore, okay, you get to go down with them since that's what you want. Okay, you're pushing for that. You think that you can get in and get some change. The only change that's coming is the change that the Most High has made. And that's what you're going to be looking forward to. Let's go ahead and continue. 7. Therefore saith the Lord Yahawah, he said he will hold his tongue no more in touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent blood of the righteous crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord Yahawah, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them nor to dwell in the land of Egypt. So he's not going to suffer us to dwell in this wicked land pretty much anymore, because he's had enough of that. Now what I want to do real quick is I want to go over here to Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 1, because I want to catch that, because that's a precept that I want to touch, and I want to read it to you. So Jeremiah chapter 23. So go with me. Jeremiah chapter 23. All right. And what was that? Verse 1 I said? Yeah, verse 1. Jeremiah 23:1. So if you can, just pop one over there real fast. We're going to read that precept, and then we're going to go back and we're going to hit something else. Jeremiah 23:1. Woe unto the pastors, they destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord Yahawah. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahawah, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahawah. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their fold, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Okay? And he said, I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, and nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahawah. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, as a king shall raise unto David a righteous branch, as reign and Shalaki, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. And this is what's happening. Yahawashi is sending Yahawashi, and he's going to reign, and he's going to provide justice onto the earth. And that's what's coming. And this is part of Jacob's trouble that we're going to be looking forward to. Now, I really truly believe that the elect will be able to get some blessings and some protection out of this, because as you may well know, there was a time of Goshen when our forefathers and our ancestors were in Egypt, and when the famine and all of the pestilence and everything came, Joseph was able to provide some protection through the Most High for Israel and for his family, his brethren, and his father, and those, because for the most part he was blessed to be able to do that. That's why he was given that particular platform. Okay, so I want to pop over here to the book of Jasher. I'm going to hit verse 80. I'm going to chapter 80. Okay, now if you have an apocrypha, you can pull this, okay, and you'll be able to pull this information, because where I'm going to pull this precept from, I need to, for the next verse, which says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Now when he says as before, that means you know what he did then, but see, this time it's going to be on the world scale, a large earthly plane scale, not just this particular area. Yeah, this country is going to definitely be the lead a location that will be judged, but the world is going to be judged because the world has done this to the children of Israel. It isn't just this particular country, it's the entire world that has done this. And he says, as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. And when he says the land, he's not talking about destroying the physical planet to the degree that one or two of these types of nuclear weapons could easily cut the planet in half. So we know that the Most High is not going to destroy his actual planet. I mean, if he did, he could put it right back together instantly. Just a thought of his mind, he could do it. But what he did to Egypt was he cleaned the inhabitants off that were evil, and the land of Egypt was still there because it's still there to this day. But the wickedness and the wicked ones that were there, he cleaned them off. And as he said here, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with a plague and punishment that Yahawah power shall bring upon it. And that's, of course, talking about America and the earth. Okay, so now what I wanted to go here was I want to go to the book of Jasher, chapter 80:57. So let me get that. Okay, give me a second here. Sure. Okay, Shabbat. Going to 80, 57. Okay, all right, good. I got it. 57. Shlaki, I'm just making sure I got the right scripture here, so just bear with me as I pull this. 5. Okay. 40, 80, 41. So just bear with me. I got to make sure I pull the right scripture. I don't want to read the wrong scripture. That would not be good. I got to make sure I'm pulling the right one. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, I think I got the one I want. Okay. Yeah, all right, I got it. I'm going to start at 50. It says, this is talking about Bathia, who was Moses' stepmother, who took care of him during the time when Moses was during it was at the point where Moses was he was in I guess you would call it, they were in their domicile, they were in the location where they were comfortable, and the death angel went into action and did what it had to do, which was Yahushua, and took out the firstborn. And then after that particular time, Moses was addressing Bathia about the fact that nothing happened to her, even though her brother, the Pharaoh, had to take the brunt of all of the wickedness that Egypt had done to the children of Israel while they were in captivity and under Pharaoh's rule. So here I'm going to start here. It says, and Bathia, the daughter of Pharaoh, the daughter of Pharaoh, went forth with the king on the night to seek Moses and Aaron in their houses, and they found them in their houses, and eating and drinking and rejoicing with Israel. And Bathia said unto Moses, Is this the reward for good which I have done to you, whom have reared you and stretched you out, and you have brought this evil upon me and my father's house? He didn't bring it, the Most High brought it, but he told them what was going to happen, right? Okay. And Moses said to her, surely 10 plagues, and Yahweh bring upon Egypt, Mizraim. Did any evil occur to you from any of them? Did one of them affect you? And she said, no. And Moses said to her, although you are the firstborn to your mother, you shall not die, and no evil shall reach you in the midst of Israel, of Egypt, of Mizraim. And she said, what advantage is it to me when I see the king, my brother, okay, and all the household and subjects in this evil? And whose firstborn perish with all the firstborn of Egypt? And Moses said to her, okay, see, she's very ungrateful. She could have been destroyed. And see, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to get destroyed because they're not obeying Most High and what he's saying. Okay. Surely your brother and his household and subjects and families of Mizraim, Egypt, would not hearken to the words of Yahweh. Therefore did this evil come upon them. Okay, and Pharaoh, king of Egypt, approached Moses and Aaron and some of the children of Israel who were with them in that place, and he prayed to them, saying, rise up and take your brethren, all your children of Israel, who are in the land, with their sheep and their oxen and belonging unto them, and they shall leave nothing remaining. Only pray for me to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And Moses said to Pharaoh, behold, though you are your mother's firstborn, yet fear not, for you will not die. For Yahweh has commanded that you shall live, in order to show you his great might and strong stretched out arm. So he's showing the strong stretched out arm, as I said in verse 11. And of course, that was from the book of Jasher. I just wanted to make sure you got that, and that was important to hit that part of it. Okay, let's continue reading. We're still in 2nd Ezra, of course, chapter 15, and we're going to resume at verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, and their seed shall fail, and their blasting of hail, and with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world, them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction dwelleth near. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So Yahweh's doing all this. He's putting all this to them. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand their power. Okay, that's exercising judgment, which is what the Most High is doing, right? And men shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Okay, so we're talking about leaving his wrath, and his wrath, levying his wrath. And when he levies his wrath, he's not playing. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for a great tribulation. So this is of course Esau's complacency in terms of where he is. He doesn't even act like he cares about this and that this is going to happen, but he better get ready because it's coming fast. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun from the south to the east, and Libanus, and turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Talking about the children of Israel and what they've done to us, and now they have to pay. We had to pay; they got to pay, right? And it says here, like as I do yet this day unto the chosen. See, this is what he's done to us. He said he's done this to us. You know, if he came down and levied on us the way he did, which you can see he's doing it, and he's doing it to the end. If you're still in your wickedness and you haven't turned back to the Most High YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI at this particular time, you are going to feel this wrath. I did a lesson on the wrath of the Most High, that it's going to touch the whole earth. And this is what we're at now. This Jacob's trouble is coming. Now, like I said before, I believe this, and a lot of the elect will be protected from this because the Most High says he's going to protect his elect from this situation. But the elect of Israel being protected is different from the Jakes that are of Israel that are still in this confusion and still lost in this particular process, in this system of Babylonian practitioner religious belief systems. They're still in it, and if they don't come out, they're going to have to be destroyed with the Most High's judgment. Okay. To my chosen, 21. He says here 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith Yahweh Power. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. That's us and them, okay? The fire is going forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundation of the earth, and smitten, and consumed the foundation of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments. See, telling you, you think you're going to go ahead and be asking for some voting situation, and you got Cube and Martin and all these people talking all this wickedness, and Scott and all these people running around talking about, black lives this and black lives. Look, that's a bunch of nonsense. It's Hebrew lives that matter, and it's Hebrew Israelites that matter, of the elect, and that's what matters. The rest of this is going to be taken down by the Most High. Okay? So he says here, 24, for the Lord knoweth all, Shalaki, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord Yahweh knoweth all them that sin against him. And therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth. You see what I'm saying? The whole earth. All right? And ye shall remain in them. For Yahweh power shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, an horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east. Okay? And it says here, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, and all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay? So I'm saying, so the Most High is saying he's going to push it right to that particular process where the war is going to kick into gear, and they're going to be fighting, and then they're going to, of course, a lot of the Jakes are going to get it because they shouldn't be involved in this. They should be out of it. They should have moved out of it. Okay? All right. 34. I want to skip over 34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north and unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. When it says clouds, he's talking about the chariots that are in these clouds, because they disguise themselves in the clouds, and they're going to be horrible to look upon, because when they come, they're coming for destruction to Esau, Edom, the wicked, and the kingdom. These kingdoms that are coming down, and they're going to show up everywhere, all along the earthly plane. This whole entire planet they're going to show up, and Yahawashi is going to be leading the way. Okay, so here we go. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, and even their own star, and the blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and the dung of men unto the camel's robe. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they shall see the wrath and shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. And strong winds shall rise from the east, and shall open it. And the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear towards the east, and and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over every, they shall pour out over every high, eminent place and horrible star, fire and hail, flying swords, and many waters, and all the fields may be full, and the rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, and mountains and hills, and trees and wood, and grass of the mountains and hills, and trees and wood, and meadows, and their and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly into Babylon, and make her afraid. And they shall come to her and besiege her. The star and the wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and the smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. See, this is showing you that America's going to be it's going to be decimated, man. It's going to be totally decimated. And I wanted to make sure I got that portion of the precepts done, because that was extremely important in reference to where we're going. And now I want to pull into Jeremiah. I'm going to get into the book of Jeremiah because I want to hit some of the scriptures there. Okay. Let's see. All right, we're going to the book of Jeremiah. I want to start in Jeremiah chapter 30. So go with me to Jeremiah chapter 30. That's where we're going to start. We're going to pull some precepts from there, because this is a lot that we really need to get into here on Jeremiah chapter 30 from my notes. I have pulled a lot of notes, so I want to make sure I get a lot of this in, because I know I'm getting long in the time here, and I don't want to be too long, because I know how Jay can be. Slide. Okay. Now, the word came unto Jeremiah from Yahawah, saying, thus speak the Lord Yahawah, power of Israel, saying, write these all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. All right. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I have given to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words of the Lord spaketh concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Okay? For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice trembling of fear and not of peace. Okay? Now, when I go to those precepts, the first thing I start thinking of in Jeremiah chapter 1 through 4, it takes me to Job 19:23, and it also takes me to Romans 15:4, Job 19:23, Romans 15:4, and of course Revelation chapter 1:19, and Ezekiel 28:8. Now let's pop over here to Job first, 19:23. Okay, get to Job 19:23. Bear with me for a second. We'll go to Job 19:23. There we go, Job 19:23. I want to get that precept for you real quick. All right, 19 and 23. There we go. Job 19:23. And it says, "Oh, that my words were not written. Oh, that they were printed in a book." So you can see that shows you that precept came from that area of Job 19:23. When you go to Jeremiah 30, when you read in verse 1 through 4, this is what it's talking about at that point. We're talking about write down these things in the book. Also, we wanted to go to, Romans 15:4, right? That was the next one. Romans chapter 15, verse 4. We want that one, okay? Romans 15:4. All right, and it says here, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So that precept still backs up what we're saying from there. Revelation 1:19. Revelation 1 verse 19. Revelation 1 verse 19. All right. 1:19 reads, Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I wanted to show you that the precepts of Jacob's trouble in reference to what we're seeing in terms of being delivered by the Most High, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, there are other precepts that back up what Jeremiah 30 is telling you, verses 1 through 4. So I wanted to make sure that we pull those precepts so that we get that clear understanding of where that is. Okay, now, as we go down, what we're talking about here is other chapters. We're going to stick to Jeremiah 30. Now, if we go down, if we were to read, let's see, 1 through 4, it also brings in Ezekiel 28:8. It brings in Hosea 3:5, Ezekiel 28:8, Hosea 3:5, Ezekiel 37:16, Amos chapter 9:14. As I said before, Romans 11:25. Now, once we get to 5 and 6, we're reading that. Okay, let's go 5 and 6. Back to Jeremiah 30, chapter 5, verse 6. Okay? For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice, a voice trembling of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. All right. So from 5 to 6, we see that those precepts that follow 5 and 6 is Daniel chapter 5 verse 6, Revelation 6. Verse 16 and 18, and of course Isaiah 66:7, and Isaiah 45:5. These are the precepts that are akin to Jeremiah 30 verses 5 through 6. Now Jeremiah 7-8. Let's read that. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So what we're saying here is that the Most High is looking to save Jacob out of the trouble that he is bringing to this particular earth in this period of time. But that is contingent upon Jacob being back with the Most High in the law, statute, commandments, and Jacob being part of the elect. The Most High is definitely coming for the elect of Israel that's following the law, statutes, and commandments, and have went back to what the Most High needs them to be in terms of their faith and them operating under that particular guise and directions that the Most High presented through YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Now, here's the thing. If you do not go back to the law, statutes, commandments as one of the elect, you are going to be subject to Jacob's trouble at the same level as the 2/3 and the heathen of this particular time period. That's a very important thing. That's what I'm saying. Current event-wise, the Jacob's trouble, we've been going through it since day one, okay, since we went away from the Most High. But the escalation process of it now that's coming to fruition is starting to play a major part in terms of whether the elect can be selected and then move forward and then understand what's going on. And that's why it's said there in 7. Now, through verses 7-8, the kin to that would be Joel chapter 2 verses 11, Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. That's Joel 2:11, Daniel 12:1, Zechariah chapter 14 verse 2 and 3, and of course Revelation 7 verse 14. I know I don't have time to go through each one of these because it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of precepts and a lot of verses, and I don't want to be too long on the lesson. But you need to go back and read these particular precepts that I'm telling you are akin to the scripture verses from 7 through 8. And that's why I said Joel chapter 2, verse 11. And I said Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And also said that you want to go to Zechariah 14, 2 and 3, and Revelation 7, 14. Now we want to go ahead and read Jeremiah 30, verses 8 and 9, and then we'll get through, and I'll give you the precepts for those. 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve Yahawah their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Okay? So you know now, 8 through 9, the precepts that follow that show that David their king and the Most High raising them up, as he said here, through that time, he will break that yoke. That would be Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 18. We got Ezekiel 34, verse 23, and we got Acts chapter 2, verse 30. Those precepts definitely speak to those particular scripture passages right there, 8 and 9, right? All right, now let's go down. Let's do 10. We got to hit 10. Okay, and 10 on down through 11, it says here, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob. See, talking about Jacob, fear not. It's not saying the heathens of the world. It's not Moabites, not Amorites, not Amalek, not Esau. He's talking about Jacob, fear not. Because he's going to deliver the elect of Israel, which are those portions of Jacob, out of this particular trouble. It says, fear not, right? Shalom. Therefore, fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahawah power, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. 11, for I am, see Yahawashi, for I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahawah, to save thee through, though I may not make a full end, though I may make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So you can see right now the Most High is saying he's going to judge. Judgment starts at the house of Israel first, okay? Let's get that. I'm going to go to 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. I said that before, so let's just get that. Let's get that that verse. Let's get that because we need to, because I know that Shalaki. Because see that most people don't understand that the Most High, he's going to put judgment on Jacob, especially the 2/3, and even any wicked Hebrew Israelites that are not following the law, statutes, commandment, and doing things that are against what he said. There will be some of them that fall out too. Okay, that was First Peter, okay, and that was chapter 4, verse 17. So let's get that. Here we got it. Chapter 4, verse 17. Okay. For the time is come, your judgment must begin at the house of Yahawah, of power, of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahawah power? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Question. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of power of Yahawah commit the keeping of their souls to him in the will, doing as a faithful creator. He's telling you, the only blessing or only thing you have that's going to save you is going to be whether you do what the Most High says and follow his law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? We're not supposed to be making covenants with anyone else. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. I want to go to Proverbs chapter 11, verse 9, and then I'm going to go to one other place in Exodus, and then I'm going to be closing this out because we're getting close to that time, and I know that Jake is not going to hang if I stay too long on this. Proverbs 11:9. Proverbs 11:9. So join me at Proverbs 11:9, And let's read that, okay? And it reads, "An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered." Okay? And so, because if you go to 8, it says here, "The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead." So the wicked is going to be brought in the stead of the righteous, because that's what's coming for the Most High in terms of his judgment and his prophetic process. His transitional prophetic process is bringing it that way. So if you are a wicked Israelite or a wicked Hebrew, you got to be judged for your wickedness, because it comes in your stead. All right, now the last place I want to go is I want to pull Exodus chapter 23:32, because we're not supposed to be forging covenants with these people of this particular time period in this system, in the wickedness that they're in. Stop trying to be equally wicked with these wicked people. That is sealing your position in this current situation that's moving prophetically forward in Jacob's trouble. So let's go to Exodus and see what the Most High said about why we're not supposed to be forging covenants with these people. Okay, so let's go there. We're going to Exodus chapter 23:32. This is a good one. A lot of the Akim and the brothers pull this all the time, because this is something that we are not supposed to be doing. So this is Exodus chapter 23, and we are at verse 32. Okay? 23:32. And it says, "Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods." You're not supposed to be worshiping fake white Jesus. You're not supposed to be going to these wicked churches. That's out. He shut all that down. I can't imagine what they could be saying when they finally decided to go back to these places once their government God told them they can go back. So now that they have decided to go back, what is it that they're saying? They certainly aren't talking to the Most High Yahawah. YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is not there. So I don't know who they're talking to. So if they're talking to Cesare, then fine. But guess what? He's not delivering them anyway, because he doesn't exist. So if that's what you want to do, fine. Let's finish. He says, "They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me." Talking about sin against the Most High Yahawah. "For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee." So now you can see the snare that has come unto them for what they have done. They have decided to say, well, we're going to claim we still going to follow this. We're going to hope that this organization is going to be beneficial to help us raise up and get votes, and then our community can get better, and then we can get this and get that. They're not going to give you that. See, you got to understand something. Why would a wicked kingdom that is wickedly set up, and the Most High set them in motion to do that, and they know they're wicked, not only do they know they're wicked, they also know that if they put you in a position, which they have done before, of equality, you raise above them, because this is what we do as Hebrew Israelites. We go to the top. We control it all. Every function of business or opportunity or sport or anything that we're involved in, if we get an equal position, we become the best at it. We're the best at every sport: basketball, football, baseball, you name it. Everything. Anything they let us get in, we dominate it. The same thing for business. The same thing for everything. Even their religious system, we dominate in that. Even though it's wicked and they shouldn't be in religious, who does more praising than so-called Hebrew Israelite, Hebrew people, black people? Who does more than that? I don't like using black, but you know what I'm saying. We are the ones that raise to the top. And don't you think they know that? They know that if they give us equality, we get better. We become better. What do you think they did to Black Wall Street? They saw that we were raising up and doing better, even through the situation of slavery. How long did it take us to get on top and start doing things when it took them hundreds of years, thousands of years to even come around to being civilized? So they know that if we get in a position of equality, we're going to take it over. So they're not going to give you equality in this wicked kingdom. And why would you want it? Why would you want to be wickedly equal with them? That means you're going to be wickedly equal in the eyes of the Most High, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and he will destroy you as he's destroying them. You don't want this. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out. This was the lesson, as I said before, overdying Jacob's trouble, explaining current end-time events that are prophetic. And that's what we went through the scriptures here. Hopefully you'll get a chance to go through some of the precepts that I gave you. If I went to every single one that I named, we'd be here for 2 hours, and you're not gonna last that long. So I hope this lesson was edifying to you. And like the apostles always say, shalom, and on to the next one if the Most High blesses.